Hey folks, it's Caldeck and I have just finished the hard mount of my HDi GT2 intercooler. There are a lot of guides on this, on how to do this without cutting the bar. But by that I mean, if you read the HDi instructions, they tell you to cut out the inside of this reinforcement bar to fit the intercooler. The method of avoiding that is you bash the crap out of this, bending it in, without affecting the mounting point of your bonnet latch. So I actually took this off, measured the distance between here and here, took it off, put it back on, made sure it was the same, otherwise I would have used some spaces behind this bolt because this has been bent. I cut this out, but I didn't need to. A common guide is to cut this out so you can get it up, probably higher up in here. The problem I had is when I raised the intercooler to that height, then I found that the stock cold side pipes didn't line up. The intercooler was just too high. Same on this side. In fact, with this install I've done, which is not finished yet, even at this height you can see there's a little bit of kinking in the hose, and it's hitting on this air conditioner thing. Now I actually don't know what that thing is, so if you know, feel free to put it in the comments. Let's see, I removed the bolts. See, that's not down. If I push it right down, and it hits that, so I'll need to bend these or put a spacer in or something. That's quite a tight fitment. I hope the focus is not going wacky there. There it goes. So yeah, so I probably didn't need to cut this. Well, if you think about it, look where I've cut it. It's been cut from about there, so maybe I did, because the bolts are probably going to hit. These are the brackets that came with the intercooler, but I bent them into a number 7 shape. I've got one. Hang on, I'll go get another one I bent previously. It's down here. Oh, come on, focus. So, do I have a stock one? No. So you can see that in order, because the intercooler normally would bolt to the outside of this on a square bracket, and these are actually, it's now much closer to the condenser for the air conditioner. I've bolted to the rear, and I've made a number 7 shape like this. So I bent it that way first, and then bent this top bit here back the other way until it was 90 degrees effectively, and that worked. But I did need to use bolts and nuts. So rather than self-tap these holes, these are some spare bolts I had lying around with a nut on the end of it and some washers to hold it on. So it fits. I have even put the plastic on, and there is about 5mm clearance between the plastic and the bottom of this. It is very, very close here though for the cold side outlet pipe of the intercooler, but it's this bit here and the clamp's going there, so we should be fine. Like, when I say close, I mean it's touching, but then I think so was my previous intercooler. This is the intercooler that had a rag in it. There was a rag inside my intercooler right there. Right as the air enters the intercooler, there was a frickin' rag in it. And when my car was getting tuned 2 years ago, my tuner, Steve Hunt from Transformance Mechanical Engineering, said to me, "Ed, your car's a bit restricted." Now we know why. So it should go great with the new, much bigger intercooler. So yeah, there you go. This is not, I would say, as obviously straightforward as following the guides. The basic premise is the same no matter what you do. You bash this very carefully. If you miss that and hit your condenser and the condenser splits, that's a new condenser and an AC regas. You don't want to do that. So I used a block of wood initially, like this. Once this bar was off and the intercooler wasn't there, hit it with a hammer, and then basically just kept working on it until it was there. So this is literally quite a tight fit. There is no movement. Do I need to put in some lower reinforcement? Probably. There is bolts, holes on the bottom of the intercooler. You could fab up a bracket fairly easily that would bolt from there and maybe onto these The reason for that is there are some users of HDi intercoolers. Sorry, I'm just getting some shots of the clearances. You see it's actually touching. What was I saying? There are some uses of HDi intercoolers where these brackets have snapped. So under the vibration of driving, they've stress fractured there at the joint.